Hi, my name is Kip Rumens, Sales Representative for Travis Industries. Today I'm going to introduce you to the Alpha Remote system. The Alpha Remote is utilized on the Fireplace Extraordinaire Pier, See-Through, and Extreme fireplaces. The Alpha Remote system has a docking station, so you always know where your remote is, but you can also take it out, remove it from the docking station, and make any adjustments that you'd like to your fireplace. Today we're going to go through those adjustments on programming your remote, setting up temperature, time, and all the different adjustments that you can do to the remote system. The Alpha Remote system allows you to set up your thermostat for your house. You can use it as a manual system where it's just on and off, or you can set it up for temperature, which you can program the temperature that you like and it'll come on at a certain temperature and go off at a certain temperature. You can also program the times on this remote system 7 days a week. So you can actually have it come on at a certain time in the morning for 6 a.m. and go off by 8 a.m. when you go to work. You can have it come on again in the afternoon at about 5 p.m. when you get home from work, and it'll turn off again at a certain time. So you can use it as a programmable, regular thermostat, or just a manual on-off. We're going to walk through each one of those steps and show you how to set it up for what you'd like for your house. In setting up your remote for the first time, you're going to set up the time, the day, and the swing. The swing gives you an option of setting 1, 2, or a 3-degree swing temperature, which means the remote will kick on when the temperature drops 1 or up to 3 degrees in the room before it turns itself back on. The initial setup of the remote is very simple. Simply press the set button and the up arrow at the same time for 5 seconds. When you hold it for 5 seconds, the temperature number will flash at you. Then you can set it for Celsius or for Fahrenheit. The up arrow goes to Celsius, the down arrow goes to Fahrenheit. Hit the set button. I've now picked Fahrenheit. Now the swing temperature I can set from 1 to 3 degrees. I like it set at 1. I hit the set button again and it goes up here to the day of the week. And since it's Monday, all I do is hit the set button. Here's the time, it's 1 o'clock here. So I hit the set button again for the hour. Now the minutes will flash, it's 1:06 here. Get it to the 6. Again, hold the set button. And now it'll say AM or PM. And now I can go right down to PM. Hit the set button, and the remote's set up. It's that simple. One tip is if the batteries go dead and you have to replace your batteries, you will go through a new setup on it to reprogram the remote as well. Once you've set your time and day and temperature for Fahrenheit or Celsius on your remote, you can now synchronize your remote. Well, the good news about this remote is it's already pre-synchronized from the factory. You don't have to synchronize it. If you ever do need to synchronize the remote with the fireplace, meaning it's not talking back and forth to each other, it's very simple to do. There's a switch behind the holder on the wall, and that switch, if you press it, it'll beep at you. Then you press the mode button here, and it'll beep at you 5 times telling you that you're synchronized with your fireplace. It's that simple. The gas does have to be turned off before you do the synchronization process. You don't want it to just start up on you when you're not ready for it. The remote has 2 modes of operation, manual mode or thermostatic mode. The thermostat has the off and on mode, so if I press the mode button here, now it's on, it's manually going to run until I go back over to turn the unit off. If I hit the mode button again, it actually shows up the thermostat operation over here. In thermostat operation, I can now bring my temperature to where I'd like it. Right now this room temperature is 79 degrees, so if I set it at 82 degrees, it's actually going to go ahead and kick the unit on, run it up to 82, and then it'll go ahead and shut the unit off. If I press the mode button again, it'll go to the manual off, and I've actually turned the unit off and it won't come on in thermostat, or it won't come on manually now until I actually touch the mode button again. Now I'm going to show you how to switch between the function buttons. There are 7 different functions on this remote that you can adjust, from a main burner, rear burner, lights, auxiliary, fan, timer, and programs. I'd like to explain in detail what the function button does. When you press the function button, it'll highlight the main burner. It'll always start here at the main burner. It'll then go to the rear burner, fan, lights, auxiliary, timer, and program functions. So at any time when one of these is flashing, I can give it an input to adjust up or to adjust down. And in the cases of the electrical components, I can actually turn them off. So the auxiliary fans I can turn off. The light, I can actually dim it down. And these are the overhead lights that are in the extreme, the pier, and the see-through. The auxiliary light is only in the extreme, and it's an on-off button, and it actually turns off the underneath lighting. The nice thing about this remote is it does have a timer function, so you can set it to 30, 40, 50 minutes, and it's going to go ahead and go off after that time cycle. So You can set that for whatever you'd like. And it'll take that input. Once it stops flashing, takes the input, and it'll turn the unit off after that desired period of time. If I go through the function button again, I'm going to show you how to set up the programming functions on this remote. Remember, you have a couple of different times in the morning. Hit your set button for 5 seconds when your programs are functioning. Once it does that, this is your first input time. So if I want it to come on at 6:40 in the morning, I hit the set button. It's going to come on at 6:40 in the morning. What temperature do I want it to come on at? Set it for 72 degrees. That's perfect for me. Actually, I'm going to go down a little bit. 71's nice. Hit the set button again. Now it's going to give me my off time. Right now it's set at 8:20, and my wife doesn't leave the house till about 9. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the set button. So now it's going to go off at 9 o'clock. And then what time do I want it to come on before we get home? So about 4:40 in the afternoon. I'm going to go up to about 5. We don't really need it to come on and have it running before we get home. We hit the set temperature. Once you hit the set temperature, then it's going to be the temperature itself. So what temperature do we want it to come on when we get them home? 71 degrees again is fine. Hit the set button. And then what time do we want it to go off on at night? Now remember, this is by temperature. So during that time frame, this unit will go on and off during that time frame, but it'll be done with its programming. It'll be off at 10:30 and won't come on overnight if you don't want it to. Your Saturday and Sunday shift you can also set on the in the morning time. We get up a little bit later in the morning, so we don't want it to come on until 8:40 in the morning. At what temperature? 72 degrees. Hit it again. What time do we want it to go off in the morning? It'll go off at 11 a.m. in the morning. Hit the button again. And now it's the PM time on Saturday or Sunday evening. It'll come on about 5:30, right about time for dinner time. Again, it'll come on at a temperature that we like set. We're going to bring it down to 71 degrees. And then the time, 9:20, actually stay up a little later than that. I don't want it to go off until after 10 o'clock, so at 10:20 the fireplace will turn off on Saturdays and Sundays. And then I hit the set button. Now it goes back to its normal programming, and you're back in your manual mode, or it'll go over to function and it'll run off function. To start running with that full program that we just programmed into the remote, we hit the function key till it starts to flash, touch and hold the set button, and it shows us that we're running in the program function now. To remove yourself from the program function, hit the mode button and it turns off. Now I can be in the on, the thermostat, or off section. Again, if I want to go back and turn my program back on, my automatic programming, I go back up to the function, hit set, and I'm back in the program mode. The remote also has a couple of different little functions to it. If you hold the set and down arrow at the same time, it'll show up continuous pilot. Now the pilot light will stay on, keeping the flue temperatures established for those colder climates. Simply press it again, the two buttons at the same time, and now you're back to intermittent pilot, which means when your burner turns on, the pilot lights itself first. If you hold the function button and the top arrow down for 5 seconds, a little CP is going to appear right there, and that's called child protection. So anybody that tries to make an adjustment to it once it's already been set up, they can't make any adjustments until you turn that off. So it keeps kids from making any adjustments to your flames or your fire and turning it up, turning it down. So again, hold it down for 5 seconds and it goes away. The fireplace runs on 110 power, but in case of power outages, it does have battery backup feature. There are 4 AA batteries located behind the docking station for your convenience. The handheld remote also has 2 AAA batteries located in the backside here as well. Thank you for taking the time today to learn about the Alpha Remote system. The Alpha Remote is used on the Extreme Fireplace, the Revolution Pier, and the Revolution See-Through. The owner's packs contain the information to walk through the programming steps as well, or consult your local dealer for any further details that you need.